So today I'm going to talk about the business context and why it is important for your organization. So the business context is the information of the data in terms of data. So that the information like the business description, the technical description, the lineage where the data come from, the relationship it have, the contextual understanding of it, the operational metadata, the stewardship, the data governance part of it, everything information about the data is the business context. If I have to ask any question from the data, I should be able to get the right data, right formula, right matrices so that I can calculate it correctly. Business context is very important for your organization in order to implement AI, because AI needs data. And in order to feed the right data for the right agent, it is very important you use the correct data, correct definitions in your AI journey. And business context help you identify the right data for the right questions. First, it help you identify the right data to use. So the context should have every information about the data. So because AI need to answer the question and they need to know which data to consider it. Then once you found the data, there are minute details about the formula, about the calculation, which need to be consistent across the company. AI have a multiple way of calculating things. Customers can be a customers can be a active customers can be the name of the customer can be the name of the organization. It can be anything. And AI, if you ask one time, it will give you one answer. A second time, it will give you the second answer because it doesn't understand in which context you are asking it. You need a business context system in place where you define your organizational business context. For your organization, in your finance domain, what does the customer mean? In your marketing domain, what do you mean by a customer? In marketing, even a prospects can be a customer. While in finance, only the customers with the active contract is a customer. So both have a very different definition of the customer. And that is why it is important to understand the user's own context, that who is the user, why they are asking the question. And then organizational context that, okay, within the marketing, what the customer mean, within the finance, what the customer mean. That's what the system in place is needed to assemble all this information so that AI answer the question in a consistent manner. Building a business context is a key exercise. Unfortunately, we have data governance processes. The fundamental problem with the AI is that people thinking that let's AI build the business context for us. Yes, we need to leverage AI to build the business context faster, but there must be human in the loop so that human verifies the information as the business context goes. Otherwise, you will have a lot of hallucination in your AI further downstream. There are a variety of elements which goes into the business context. For example, lineage. Lineage has been automated by now with the tools like OvalEdge, where you can parse the source code and it builds the lineage for us. There is a relationship that how ER diagrams is linked. That also is automated. There is a business description, there is a technical description, there is an ownership, there is a stewardship, there is a governance context, there is a operational metadata. All this information goes as a business context. There is a quality debt. All these things goes as a part of the process which identifies those information and put it in terms of the system, and that becomes the business context. OvalEdge allow us to comprehensively build your business context in one platform. You have lineage, you have relationship, you have business descriptions, you have technical description, you have compliance information. Everything goes into one ecosystem, and business context now can be created in months so that your entire organization's business context is available in one system, and then you can start leveraging those business contexts in your AI for the downstream. Leveraging the business context, we need to put it inside their AI systems. There are various AI systems like Claude, OpenAI, Gemini. They need this business context in order to produce accurate results. That's where you plug it in the business context from OvalEdge to your existing system, whether it's your Snowflake, your Databricks, your AI, OpenAI, your Claude, every part of that. And that gives the ability for these systems to ask questions from your data. And Edge, which is our platform for business context, give you that context as well as data to answer the questions. Then combining the model's intelligence and the business context of organization, combining together gives the answers to various questions and implementing various agents. So organizations are creating agents which can answer not only the question, but it can do the work for the customer. So there is an agent which can be done for doing the data analytics, right? So you can ask them, hey, can you calculate the customer churn analysis? This agent does find the right data. It does the calculation for you and give you the calculation that, okay, these are the chances of the customer churn. And based on that, another agent can say, okay, go ahead and send the email out to these agents. Another email agent can say, hey, send me a personalized email for this customer. Or another one agent can be, hey, send a discount to these customers, so that because we understand the customer may churn because of a bad experience of the customer. Another agent may say that, oh, these because of the bad experience they had it, they can create a request for their customer success team to follow up on that. So there are a variety of agents are needed to orchestrate the overall business processes, and that's how the AI will leverage this business context for serving the need of the business. We need to know every part of the information from the data in order to produce the good results. And most importantly, the objective of the data, what kind of purpose the data have. The same data can be used for one purpose, may not be used for another purpose. And that is why it is important to have all these kind of context in your system so that you have a comprehensive governance business context of the data.